Do you want to go on the mic?
No, I don't want to
It's from Revelation Television.
No, I'm all right. All right. Well, you want to talk to this guy?
Yeah, I wanted to ask him something.
Sure.
Right? So, you believe the Quran is the word of God, yeah? Yes or
You're
no?
ask about the Islamic dilemma.
No. I'm going to ask my own question.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just trying to see if I
So
could
we
see
can
where
all say the Shahada, right?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Tell me something Muhammad prophesied that's relevant to us today. And then I'll make you read that Bible and prophesy about yourself.
The coming of Jesus.
The coming of Jesus.
Yes.
That's irrelevant.
Do you
I'm
believe
talking
Jesus will
about
come
now.
back? Yeah,
No,
now.
Yeah, we
you
know
believe Jesus
but he
will
hasn't
come
come back yet. So you can't use that.
back? Do you believe Jesus is going to come back?
I do, but he hasn't come back yet. So you can't
That's
use
relevant
that.
then.
You can't use that. That doesn't qualify Muhammad.
But that's
or
relevant.
It doesn't authenticate him as a prophet. So you have to give me something else.
Okay. So he prophesied that there will come a time that the Arabs will compete with each other to make tall
specifically the
buildings.
Bedouin Arab. The
Are you,
Bedouin
is
Arab.
that the
Bedouin
best?
era.
Is that when did this happen?
He said this 1400 years ago,
When-
and it's
when did it-
only
when-
come into fruition about just under 100 years ago.
It's a bit vague though, no?
What's vague about it?
It's a vague prophecy.
Tell me
I want to
what's
see if
vague.
you could do
It's
something.
a specific prophecy.
Okay, I'll give you something. Even
Tell
better
me
than
what's vague about it.
that. You can contrast it with what I'm going to tell you next. Yeah?
You made an accusation, right?
Yeah.
Prove it.
It's vague.
What's vague?
Because you're saying that the Bedouins, what was it? The Bedouins are what?
Bedouin- the
Arabs will
barefoot-
compete with each other building tall buildings.
And that's it.
That's specific. Bedouins don't build things. They're desert nomads.
Is that a specific thing? Is
That's
that
very
That's how that
should we
progression
say
of
the
life.
Shahada because of that?
It's not.
Is that what you're saying?
That's one argument.
Well, give me
That's
another one. Come on, you're all here now. Let's hear some prophecy, man. I'm here. Let's hear it. Come on.
Let me tell you this prophecy, yeah?
Please,
So
go
the
ahead.
prophecy is talking about a group of people that made mud huts. They were not rich, they were not influential 1400 years ago.
You're going to have to run from
Can
me.
I finish?
Yeah? All right, go ahead.
Okay, you're making me run then, no problem.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah,
go for
I need the cardio. So at that time, to prophesize that these group of people, when there is no means, because there was no oil that had been discovered, which is referred to as black gold. So none of the historians backed it up by saying yes, the Arabs are in a position to compete with each other globally to make the tallest of buildings. Lo and behold, the very Arabs that were barefoot, unclothed herdsmen, that's what the hadith specifies. Then they were asked about the Prophet, what is it being referred to? Who? He said the Bedouin Arabs. More specific. So when you say vague, when the Prophet is literally telling you the group he's referring to, I don't know how on earth you're saying that's vague. Then on top of that, the oil has been discovered about, I would say, just under 100 years ago. It was only after black gold that the Arab countries are in a position where objectively they are making the tallest of the buildings. What's the tallest building in the world at this moment in
I
time?
don't know. I don't care.
You don't know?
Nah.
Is it Taj
You know
Mahal?
where it is?
Not the Taj Mahal, brother.
Again?
Yeah, pick up India
Yeah, I
though,
know,
yeah?
I know.
The Burj Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world.
And Muhammad
Saudi
prophesied
Arabia,
it, yeah?
he prophesied that. That's what I've been saying for the last 5 minutes. I don't think you're paying attention.
Was the earth puking
Then
forth its riches?
the Kingdom
Oh,
Tower, Saudi Arabia is due to make one taller than that. Then Malaysia or Indonesia is meant to make one taller than that. So this is referred to the Middle East.
Okay, fantastic.
That's a prophecy.
That's fantastic. Do you have any more?
There's loads of prophecies. that
Brilliant
you get.
ones that you could bring forward. So if-
Absolutely, like
and you
Abu
reckon
Lahab.
Do you reckon you can match me on that?
Like Abu Lahab.
Okay.
Are you going to talk about the Olivet discourse that
No,
was a
no, I could do
prophecy
better
of Jesus?
Even better than
That
that.
C.S. Lewis, it's not better. C.S.
I
Lewis
could
said
do
it was.
another one.
C.S. Lewis said it was embarrassing.
Who's C.S. Lewis?
C.S. Lewis, the
The
famous
writer.
Christian.
The writer.
Oh,
The
famous
Lion, the Witch,
Christian
and the Wardrobe.
writer.
Yeah?
Yes, he's a
Okay.
famous Christian
Yeah, but
that you
you
guys
can't
quote.
quote these men and tell me something's embarrassing. All right. Anyway.
Are you
I'll
going to
give you
talk about
another
that
angle.
prophecy?
I'll give you another answer.
Sure.
Right?
Take it, he saw
Tell
the
me the
videos.
You reckon?
Yeah, he saw the videos. It's come
I need to run now, brother.
No, please.
Make me
please.
run.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
What was the first caliphate of Islam?
Is that what I've been
to
waiting
answer
for?
Answer the question.
What was the what?
The first caliphate of Islam.
The first caliphate?
Yes.
You mean Khalifa?
Yep. Hey,
Abu Bakr.
caliphate, kingdom, empire. What was the first one? The Rashidun Caliphate, right?
Yeah, the
Right.
the
Just
Khulafa
answer-
Rashidin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And they rode out with their bows and so on, and they conquered the Byzantine Empire in the
Half of
Battle
the
of
globe.
Yarmouk.
Half of the globe.
Yeah, the Battle of Yarmouk, and they ripped up the. They went out conquest and they ripped up the Byzantine Empire. They took over the Egypt as well, didn't they? Yeah, right. And the second one, what's the second caliphate?
Then you've got the
Come on.
Umayyads, then the
The Umma-
Abbasids,
No. Let's
then
go
the
one at a time.
Fatimids.
Stick to the second one is the Umayyads, and the Umayyads had the most
Where are you going?
fitness, right?
Where are you going?
Did they have the most? Should I stand there? I'm walking around because I can't. I've had a couple of Red Bulls and I can't stand still. Yeah, the Umayyads had the most fitness, right?
The what?
Fitness. They had
No,
the most
they
civil
didn't.
war. They did.
They
Google
didn't have
it.
the most fitness, no.
Dude, they had the most civil wars. Look it up.
No, they didn't.
It is facts.
No.
Yes, they
Give
did.
me the reference.
Oh my God! Seriously, bro.
Yes,
Bro.
reference.
Has anybody got a phone here?
Oh, you don't
Has
have a
anybody
phone?
got a phone? I've got a phone.
I thought you were gonna
can
cook
do-
me.
I am going to cook you.
Then give
but
me the
don't
reference.
deny facts.
Give me the
Yeah?
reference.
I don't think this guy's worth talking to.
No.
Give me the reference.
Don't deny anything. They had the most fitness, right? They were born in a fitna, right? They had they were in power in the fitna, and they ended in the
me
fitna
the
when the
reference.
Abbasid. No, this is facts. Anyway,
By who?
this is facts.
By who?
Historical facts.
By who?
Anyway, let me continue.
Name me a historian that said this is a fact.
Dude, this is historical facts. It's
Trust me,
all
bro.
over. There are bots
Trust me,
all
bro.
over the internet, right? Anyway,
Give me one book then.
let me continue.
Give me one book.
Let me continue.
I need a reference.
Let me continue.
I'm sorry.
Let
I'm
me
not going to
continue.
accept. Trust me, bro.
No. I don't accept it. Don't accept it. It's trust me, bro. Trust
Umayyad
me, bro.
Caliphate.
Right. Now,
Then it's
the
not an argument
Umayyads,
then.
listen to me.
Move
The
on.
Umayyads had the most fitness.
Reference.
Right? The most civil
Reference.
wars. Doesn't matter. The most
What do you
civil
mean it
wars.
doesn't matter?
Let
It's
me
right here.
finish.
It's right
Because
here, bro.
where is it? Okay, what we got here? The Umayyad Caliphate.
What's the
where is it?
reference?
Where is it?
Where is
Constant
it? Go on.
expansion. Where is it? They had the most fitness.
Had the most wars, characterized by the almost continuous territorial expansions, intense border wars, and several internal conflicts.
Had several internal conflicts.
Oh my
But they
Is
had
that
the
your
most
reference?
fitness. Listen.
Is that what it said?
Don't try
that what
and
it
don't.
said?
He
that what it
smells
said?
the fear, you know. I know you smell it.
Just read it then.
You smell
so
it.
I can see it as well.
Let me finish what
I
I'm
don't
saying,
just wanna
'cause
smell
I know
it.
my facts. I know my facts, right? Okay, let me continue. Let's just say you don't know, right? The Umayyads had the most fitness. They had the most civil wars. Google it. See if I'm talking rubbish.
Just Google
right?
it. They did.
Just Google it. Right. And after the Umayyads had the most fitness or civil wars, who came next? The Abbasid. Are you going to tell me that wasn't the golden age of commerce? Is that what you're going to tell me next?
Make
Was it
your
not
argument.
the golden age?
Make your argument.
Was it not the
You
golden age?
got no references. Make your
and
argument.
they had the scales. They regulated the scales during commerce because people were stealing, right? Yeah? And it was an age of like fine wines, you know, and the fine perfumes. Oh, sorry, the fine perfumes that you all made for us, right? And we're now enjoying that. And who took out the Abbasids? Wasn't it the Mongols? The Mongols took out the Abbasids, didn't they? Yeah? And the Golden Horde later of the Mongols in 1346.
How is this a prophecy of Jesus?
Listen carefully, I'm getting to it.
But telling me about
Oh,
wines.
yeah, please, yes. Listen,
And about
listen.
distillation.
Give me a second. It's
guy is
beautiful.
worth talking to.
No, it's worth
completely
talking.
forgot
I like
this
him.
was supposed to
I
be
actually like
he
this
wanted
guy.
me
I don't
to.
think so.
He
Let me
said
finish.
he's going to give prophecies of Jesus.
And you ain't letting
Right?
me finish.
Okay.
I will.
So now, what do we have?
Without interrupting.
We have the Mongols, right? And the Mongols, at the siege of Kaffa, took the bodies of plague victims, right? And they threw them over the walls. And those in Kaffa, because they couldn't breach the walls. And that place, that area, went on to Europe, and it became the Black Death, right? Now, turn to Revelations chapter 6 for me and read it now.
Do it yourself.
Well, pass it to me. I'll read it for you. Is it all right if I hold your Bible?
Of course
I'm
you
not
can.
going to run away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you got here? King James?
New King James.
New King James, fantastic.
They had to update it, you see.
Yeah, English language and that.
No.
No?
So verses added in and taken out.
Ah, is that what you think?
No, that's a fact.
Okay, it's a fact.
Have you read the New International Version?
Yeah, I read that too. I read them all.
Where are the last 12 verses of Mark in the New International
let me
Version?
finish this now,
Oh,
right?
now you want to finish.
How much things you want to jump to, bro?
I'll wait. I'm
Come
patient.
on,
How
come
much
on,
things you want to
come
jump to?
Right. Now, when the Lamb opened one of the seals, I heard one of the four living creatures say, a voice like a voice of thunder, come and see. And I looked and behold a white horse. and he who sat on it had a bow, and a crown was given to him. A crown meaning the first empire, right? And he went out conquering to conquer. Be very careful, watch. And when he opened up the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, "Come and see." And therefore there was a fiery red horse went out, and he granted the one who sat to take peace from the earth. And the people should kill one another. That was given to him a great sword. Right? That's the second one. The third one, when he opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a black horse, and he who sat on it had a pair of scales. Right? And in his hand I heard a voice in the midst of the four creatures saying, "A quarter of wheat for a denarii, 3 quarts of barley for a denarii, and do not harm the oil or the wine." Now, I don't know about you guys, but traditionally they thought that was famine. That's actually commerce, right? And that commerce, right, is the golden age of Islam. Now let me go to the fourth one. Now listen carefully, right? When he opened up the fourth seal, I heard a voice of the fourth living creature say, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and the name of him is him who sat on it was Death, and Hades followed him. And the power was given to him over a fourth of the earth, to kill with the sword, with hunger, death, and beasts of the earth. The Mongols controlled a quarter of the earth. Bear that in mind. Hold on. And they were responsible, right, for the Black Death, right? This is what it said. But hold on a second. Another thing I wanted to say to you guys, right, is that when you're looking, you're exhausted. Yeah, I could give you way more.
Bro, get on with it, please.
Yeah, because this is factual.
It's dragging on now.
It's factual.
It's dragging
you can't
on.
touch this.
I'm sure
yeah?
it is.
You're not even
Make
on
your
this
argument.
level. You're not even on this
Make your
level.
argument.
Right? So the point I'm saying to you is the prophecy I just given you here
is very vague.
You are not on that level.
Yeah,
right?
that's a very low level.
No. Listen. Oh, wait there. So you're just setting the standard for the Quran then? Because what you're saying is your level of prophecy is very low. Because you're not on this level. When you go back and check your cameras, right?
Do I need to Google that as well?
Read the facts, and you will see exactly that you are the 4 horsemen of the Bible. Yeah?
Oh, is that
you
what
are
you got
100%.
Which Bible
right?
scholar says that?
Do you need scholars to validate yourself, or do you need the word of God to back you up?
Either we got scholars or we got ignoramuses.
Watch carefully.
So you're saying forget the scholars, go with the ignoramuses.
Time of Muhammad, my friend. Where were they?
Yeah, where were they?
They were around
Where were
him.
they?
What do you mean?
Where were they?
He
Muhammad
himself was a scholar.
No, you're not
The Sahaba were scholars.
couldn't read. How
The
was he a scholar?
Tabi'een were scholars. The
Muhammad
Taba
couldn't read.
Tabi'een.
Muhammad couldn't read.
Also, if you can't read, you're not a scholar.
How do you make
Then the
Anyway.
people around Jesus, none of them could read.
Says who? Good point.
Says the biblical scholars, like Bar
the
Ehrman.
Mongols took a
I'm giving
quarter
names,
of
you
the
see,
earth,
not just Google.
right? What? Not just
Could
Google.
the people around Jesus read and write?
What does that mean? What's that
What
mean
does
to
that
be-
mean?
Are they scholars?
Hey, what does
Were they
that mean?
scholars? And how would I know?
What does that mean?
How would I know?
Hey.
What are you getting at?
Huh?
What are you getting
Oh,
at?
now suddenly, what is this?
No, but you don't
I don't
know your own
understand.
history. That's the problem. If I ask you about the Rashidun Caliphate, you dance around it. You don't even know when did they come to power?
Could Jesus write?
632 AD.
What did Jesus write?
When did they come
Relax.
out of power?
Stop
630,
manifesting.
661.
Stop manifesting.
Yeah?
Stop
Right?
manifesting. Did Jesus write anything?
Yeah?
Did Jesus write anything?
Sorry?
What did Jesus write?
Jesus didn't write anything.
Eh? So we got no evidence that Jesus could
I
write.
just gave you the evidence that John prophesied, and his prophecy is greater than Muhammad's. By far.
That is the most vaguest prophecies
No, it's not.
I've heard
No,
at
it's not.
Speaker's
Do you want
Corner
to
for
give-
the last
okay,
3 years.
Did you see me on...
Where does it say it's referring to the Muslims? At least with the Prophet's one, it's
say
specified.
Muslims,
One
is it? That's
second.
a bit-
It's
Why is it
specified.
gonna say
Okay,
Muslims?
then why did the Prophet specify Bedouin Arabs?
What colour are the horses?
Oh.
Okay, let me give you.
Oh,
the 4
okay.
horsemen
Oh.
are white, red, black, and green.
Oh, that answers everything
no,
now.
No. And I've given that. Oh, it does, because all the places
What
where,
colours were
where
they?
Islam conquested.
What colours were they?
Those are where the flags
Give me the
are.
colours.
Yeah.
Give me the colours.
White, red, black, and green.
Huh? White?
White, red, black, and green.
Green horse.
Pale green.
Right.
Green horse, yeah?
Revelation. These are facts.
Oh, green horse is revelation. That's very accurate. You're right.
It's
pale green.
Oh,
absolutely.
you got me there.
And I
me
could
there.
give you.
No. The green horse? Whoa.
The clown.
He was right.
dates.
I'm finished.
Doesn't matter. Go for it.
The green
Go for
horse.
it. The green
Wow.
horse.
That's a mad.
Dude, you're cooked, man.
I am.
You're cooked. You're
The green horse cooked me.
Okay. Right. You want me to do this? Yeah, because there's way more prophecies I could take.
Okay, pause there because we listened to you for the last 10 minutes, yeah? So, he gave a random prophecy on the book of Revelation, talking about a horse called Death, talking about a green horse, saying and cherry picking from history, this happened.
They all happen sequentially.
I listened to you, yeah? I listened to you.
No, you didn't.
So according to him, so now you guys are getting excited, right? So he used 10 minutes to tell me that a bunch of horses is referring to the Muslims. The Khulafa Rashidin is referring to the Umayyads, is referring to the Abbasids, cherry picking things.
Never been cherry.
Have you guys heard him quote a single book?
You won't win.
A single historian?
You will not win, bro.
A single peer-reviewed evidence?
You don't know history. You're cooked.
No.
You're cooked.
What I did was,
I'm telling you,
I
you're
gave
cooked.
names,
You're done.
I gave scholars. The scholar I gave was Bar Ehrman. Before that, I mentioned the Olivet Discourse.
Islam,
Guys, just look at this and look at his demeanor.
Doesn't matter until you can prove that God
I'm gonna wait for him to finish.
I just done it. The prophecy is factual. I could give you more. Last week I gave Hamza dates from the Bible. Yeah? Dates. Right? Of you all enslaving people for 14 centuries. I gave him dates. Yeah? The women of the world that you all enslaved and sex trafficked for 13 centuries. I gave him dates. Jesus said it'll be a terrible time for nursing women and pregnant mothers.
So he said he's giving me dates, yeah? But he doesn't know
I
Origin.
Hamza.
Origin, who is regarded as a church father for many Christians, he
I
said
don't rely on that stuff.
that the scribes,
It's not going to work.
it's
with me.
known that
It will
the
not work
scribes
with me.
changed the times and the dates. So I now ask you,
Dude,
which times and
nonsense.
dates?
You don't
The
even
times
know
and
when
dates
the
of the
Rashidun
Bible
came up. You
that
don't know when
Origin
the Umayyad
himself.
came up.
Stop,
You don't know
relax,
when the
relax,
Abbasids
relax.
came
Let
up.
me
You
respond.
don't know they were
Let me
defeated by the
respond.
Mongols. You don't
That
know
Origin
anything.
himself is saying that the scribes
anything.
were
I
changing
need someone who
times
knows history.
and dates.
Here. You can't debate people if you don't know history.
Speaking
dude.
over
You
me
don't even know your
is
own
not going to do
history.
anything for you.
Jesus.
You're going to have to listen to me.
All right, let me listen to you. Sorry,
Yeah?
beg your pardon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So Origin is saying,
You're right.
precisely, Origin is saying,
Go on, listen.
and I'll give you the reference, yeah?
Where's the Christian fellow that was here earlier on?
I'll give you the reference, yeah, if you want the reference. I'll give you the reference, what Origin said, yeah?
You're back, man.
You know, huh?
You're back.
You want the bag? That's all right. I have my own references, but
Yes.
I'm going off the top of my
So
head.
Origin said, in the commentary of John, book 10, section 4, there is material falsehood in the Bible. Material falsehood. He goes
Who
on
said
to
that?
say,
Who said that? Sorry.
and scribes would change times and places. I said dates and times.
So they must
It's
have been
times and places. And Origin goes further. He says in the commentary on Matthew, the scribes neglect to check over the work or make additions and subtractions.
Yeah.
In fact, Eusebius, he's a church historian, he says using lies is okay to remove contradictions in scripture
But do you?
and to convert the people. The reference for this, I need to give you the reference, it's not Google. Preparation for the Gospel, book 12, chapter 31, ladies and gentlemen. So
You're all
when
gonna
you,
go back and see
so
how
when
vague
you,
what I'm saying
so
is,
when you look at
and look
these,
it up afterwards.
one second.
Yeah.
When you look at these authorities
And look at my other
in
videos as
Christianity, they are giving no priority to what is it? Did you listen to what I said?
No priority.
Dates and-
go on, and they've been changed and so on.
Not listening. Dates and places. Places.
All right, sorry.
Yeah?
I'm sorry.
And then he says it's okay to lie to remove what from the Bible?
Go on, I'm listening. You said
I already
they
said
okay
it.
to lie to. Sorry, lie.
To remove contradictions
Contradictions.
and
Go on.
to convert people.
All right, and to convert people. All right.
So I say that to say this. When you talk about dates from the Bible, when your own church historians say that's not valid, yeah, dates and the places,
I've already said most of what.
yeah,
he's
is
talking now, so.
unreliable. So my
But I think
question
she's
to you is,
actually-
do you have anything to prove the validity of these dates and places or times and places that are mentioned in the Bible that you said to that brother last week.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that?
No, I'm
you
going
look it
based
up.
on what you said.
Because I'll tell you something, it's very, very accurate. It's impossible. Yeah? It's impossible. Look it up, it's impossible. The stuff I said, look it up. A matter of fact, could I do it now? Might as well do it. Should I do that with them now? Yeah? It might take time though, I don't know if I want to do that. It's take too much of your time. Go ahead, you can look at the video.
You haven't given one reference today.
I don't need references. I've read
How
the
can I
Bible.
believe what you're saying?
Go and look it up. Yeah? Your own people will tell you. What I've given you is sequential history.
I've read
Yeah?
Christian scholars and they don't mention what you've said.
You don't need to do that.
Okay, then
the
who?
time is now. Yeah?
What, Jiminy Billy Bob sitting outside Tesco? Assalamu alaikum.
Brother.
Inshallah, you'll be
Look up
Muslim
the
one day.
history. Yeah?
Inshallah.
It will never
Repeat
happen.
after me, Ashhadu.
No, it won't happen, brother.
Repeat. Ashhadu.
Let me come and talk to you guys. Is it all right if you... Where's your mic? Who's is this?
Do we have a mic on here? No, we don't. We don't.
Thank you very much, though,
My
bro. I
pleasure,
really
my
appreciate
pleasure.
it. So I'm a bit hyper about it.
No problem,
I
no
really am
problem.
sorry. Thanks for putting up with me, though.
problem.
Who's got whose mic is it? I've got loads of mics from me.
So just to wrap up, yeah. For those of you guys that are wondering, he mentioned this about the Abbasids and the Umayyads. This is something called the Texas Sharpshooter Fallacy. Yeah, there's actually a ship that went very similar to the Titanic, very similar rhetoric to the Titanic. It sunk like the Titanic, very similar correlations like the Titanic. If somebody looks at these correlations and then says, "Oh, the Titanic stole of this," it will be completely false. Why? Because you need to look at the counter evidence. You need to look at the 50 other things that are not like the Titanic. So the Texas Sharpshooter is a fallacy. He picked and chose certain things from the Umayyads, from the Abbasids, from the Khulafa Rashidin. He didn't even know their names. He needed me to tell him. Yeah, and when I told him the names, then he was able to formulate his argument. Not one scholar, not one book, not one reference from the Christians or the Muslims or the atheists. Frankly, I would have accepted the reference of Jiminy Billy Bob sitting outside Tesco's. I would have at least said this guy's given something, but he gave nothing. Yeah, all he gave was, the leaping around and all of this, and we listened to what they said. Then he referenced a conversation that he had last week pertaining dates and times. I told him the reference of origin of Eusebius. Any Christian worth his salt cannot reject Eusebius. But he was forced to go after that. Because what Eusebius said, what Origen said, admitting that there is material falsehood in the Bible. This is Origen. No problem, he doesn't want to accept it. Imagine, there's a scholar that we have, even though we may reject him. From the Khawarij, from the Mu'tazili, whatever. Which of them are going to say there is material falsehood in the Quran? They don't. In fact, even the Hadith, even whatever sect you are, the Shias, the Mu'tazilis, whatever, even they don't reject Hadith. The Hadith is not rejected. I haven't even mentioned the Quran. The Quran is not even touched. Everyone reads the Quran, the same Quran. Which scholar is going to say, yeah, things have been added to the Quran and things have been taken out of the Quran? Ladies and gentlemen, with all due respect, that's why we come with our annotated Bibles. That's why we come every single week. Yeah, come, correct us. Tell us what Eusebius really said. Tell us what Origen really said. And what this conversation started with, it was the genocides, the 7 genocides that was mentioned in the Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 7. And then I went to 1 Samuel 15 verse 3, and I asked his the guy that came before him, predecessor, I asked him, is it okay to kill babies? He said, if God commands me, then yes. For Muslims, we will never be commanded to kill babies. Where in the Quran does it say kill babies? But yet today this verse is still applicable. Netanyahu, when he invaded Palestine, he said Amalek. Netanyahu again talked about Amalek again when they invaded Iran. Amalek, Amalek, Amalek. Who are these Amalek? Well, 1 Samuel 15 verse 3 will tell you they are a group of people that they are commanded to wipe out, genocide, remove, vanquish, eliminate, delete, kill. But yet they're justifying. So now it's okay, but so-and-so book says this, so-and-so book says that. We say it's never okay to kill babies. Frankly, I didn't think that was so controversial.
You enslave their mothers.
Is it okay? Okay.
You slave
So we have somebody over here. I'm going to ask him simple question, and then I'm going to wait. The Bible says kill babies. Would you kill babies?
Why are you debating with me? I'm not Christian. I'm talking about your Arab Islam. That's what I'm talking about. Your filthy Arab Islam are the 1,400 years of slavery, of killing, murder, and rape. That's your filthy Arab Islam. So
I don't hear an answer, ladies and gentlemen. I asked him a simple, non-controversial question. He's telling me about his life story now. I'm sorry, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor.
No.
Yeah, I'm not here to counsel
filthy
people
Arab
that
Islam
are
is
clearly
a
not
demonic
okay,
cult
right?
That commits slavery,
I'll ask
murder,
once
and
more
rape.
because I'm a generous person, yeah? Is it okay? Do you condemn the verse of the Bible where it says
Go
to
and
kill
talk to the
babies?
Christian. I'm not Christian. I'm talking about your dirty Arab Islam, the evil that it has done for 1,400 years. Not just...
I don't hear an answer, ladies and gentlemen. I don't follow the Bible. I'm not a Christian. But if someone asks me, is it okay to kill babies?
Why are you deflecting?
I will say, no. Is it okay to kill babies? No. Kill babies?
Why are you deflecting?
Kill babies? No.
Why are
Didn't
you
take very
deflecting?
long. They didn't say, I'm not Christian.
Why are
I'm
you
this.
deflecting?
Oh, these Arabs.
I'm talking about
oh,
your
this
Arab
person.
Islam. You wanna
Oh,
deflect
Jiminy
this
Billy
Christianity.
Bob outside Tesco.
Let's
Look,
talk about
Jiminy
dirty
Billy
Arab
Bob is
Islam.
a good guy. Yeah? Don't insult. Yes, he's in some hard times. He's outside Tesco.
You are deflecting.
Give him the
You are
egg and
deflecting.
cress sandwich
Because
or
your
ploughmans.
religion is a religion of
They'll
lies.
give him the, because obviously
Your
the meat
cult
in
is the
Tesco
cult
is
of
not
the
halal.
devil.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so based on that, I don't.
Yeah, you're just spreading lies. You just come here to spread lies every week. Yeah.
So it's okay to kill babies.
Yeah? I could kill baby. Me. What babies have I killed? What babies have I killed? This is you. You're filthy Arab Islam.
Have a nice day, brother. Have a nice day.
Right now.
We don't think it's controversial, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a controversial
Your
question.
demonic cult.
Yeah, that is it
Your
okay to
dirty
kill
Arab
babies?
Islam is the
No,
one doing it, not
simple.
me.
Is what Netanyahu
Your
doing
Arab
a
Islam,
genocide?
your
Is what
filthy Arab
Netanyahu
Islam,
doing
the
a
cult of the
genocide?
devil, Arab Islam
Is
filth,
what
is
Netanyahu
the
doing
one
a genocide?
Netanyahu is not doing genocide.
He is not doing genocide.
No, he's-
You see
he's
the
taking
trend
it.
now? Yeah? If you say Netanyahu is not doing genocide,
he's not.
then I will be your therapist.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I do.
Because
You
you
need
need therapy.
You're the one who needs
Because
therapy.
frankly, if you say
Netanyahu
Netanyahu
is defending his
is
people
not-
and his country.
Listen.
Filthy Arabs who want to kill them, who want to kill his natives. That's what he's doing. So I don't blame them. My people have gone through the same filth for 1,000 years. So I know that the filth that Netanyahu is trying to fight against, the demonic, wicked Arab cult that Netanyahu is trying to fight against, the wicked, evil cult fabricated by Muhammad, the devil from the pit of hell. That's what Netanyahu is fighting against.
So this is a lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? When you go home, write it in your journals. I'm giving you a free lesson. And this lesson is, sometimes to win the debate, you don't need to debate. Just let the guy do the talking for you. And let him
You ask
dig
me,
his
I'm telling
grave.
you.
He is now
There is
so
no
far in
genocide.
the grave, I can't see him now. Yeah, he's
There is
become a
no
blur.
genocide. You lying.
Easy,
There
brothers.
is no
Look,
genocide.
you don't need to get emotional. You don't need to get passionate.
There is
Learn
no
all these
genocide.
statistics.
You are lying.
Just ask question and let the people talk.
You are lying. There is no
go.
genocide. There is no genocide.
Have a nice day, brother.
Yeah, you have a nice day. You need it.
Simple,
You need it
easy,
more.
done. Khalas.
You're spreading lies.
Finished.
You spread your lies.
I will let the brothers
Islam
take
is
over.
not
No
to
problem. My
die.
job is done.
Arab